Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for this joint presentation between the Online Campus Writing Center and the University Library on leveraging reference managers. My name is Dr. Heidi Marshall, and I am the coordinator of the Online Campus Writing Center. And with me is Faye Callista, who is our online campus liaison librarian with the University Library. Before I turn things over to Faye, who's going to be leading tonight's session on leveraging reference managers, I do want to point out a couple of things. One, if you are joining us live this evening, please do post any questions that you have as we go along in the questions area. I'll be monitoring the question box, and I'll let Faye know as any questions might pop up there. In addition, there is a handout to go along with tonight's presentation. So you should be able to find that in the handout section of your GoToWebinar control panel. We'll also be sending out the recording of tonight's session to anybody who was registered or who attended. So if you want to just sit back and listen, please certainly do so, as you will have access to all of these materials after the fact. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Faye for tonight's presentation.
All right, great. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. So tonight, what we'll do is, well, let's get started. So often when I do library orientations or library instruction, I often ask students, like, what do you do with articles once you find them? Do you email them to yourself, save them to your desktop, or maybe your USB drive? And when you write papers, do you type out your APA citations by hand? And I also ask students often, like, how do you organize or store your articles? You know, some people say they store them in stacks or on their desks, some in binders, and so forth. However you collect, save, and organize your research, we want to show you some different alternatives. Would you be interested in another method that saved you time or kept your items organized and accessible from anywhere? Or what about a tool that allowed you to quickly and automatically generate citations in APA format while you write? Well, I mean, that's what we're all here for. So we're here to explore some of the different citation management tools that you can use. So hopefully by the end of the session, you'll have a better idea of what citation managers are, what they can do for you, how to choose which tool to use depending on your needs, and generally how to get started. But before we launch into the presentation, I want to emphasize that there is no one-size-fits-all approach. So different people have, you know, different work styles and needs. Some people choose to use more analog methods of storing and organizing their research, which is totally fine. You know, like printing out articles and storing them in binders, for example, while others find these tools that we'll discuss today to be helpful or time-saving. So it's really whatever works for you. So the purpose of this presentation then is to provide you with information towards helping you decide what method is right for you. Okay, so what is citation management? In a nutshell, it's basically a program that is used to store, organize, share, and output citations in a variety of formats, including APA. Citation managers make it easy to gather citations from library databases, Google Scholar websites. They help you edit, organize, and search citations. They allow you to output citations in many different formats, including APA. They also integrate with word processing programs for inputting in-text citations and generating, you know, sort of the corresponding bibliographies. So altogether, it's sort of a helpful time saver, right, for anyone that is writing a paper with citations and bibliographies. All right. So there are lots of different citation tools available, and they all basically perform a lot of the same functions with a few sort of differences. Most of them are free, for example. But some of them, like EndNote, for example, desktop version is not free. Some of them integrate with word processors or library databases more seamlessly than others, and so forth. So again, there's no one tool that we recommend. It's really a personal preference, whatever works for you, your needs and work style. We're going to focus on just a few of these tools today. There's a few others out there that you can look at as well, but these are sort of the main tools that are used for citation management. So we have ProQuest RefWorks, which is a tool that we actually subscribe to through the library. So it's not a free tool, but it is free for all Chicago school students since we subscribe to it. There's also Zotero, which is free to use. It's a web-based tool. There's also Mendeley, which has both free and then also paid versions. And then there's EndNote, which has two versions as well. There's like a free web-based version, and then there's a more robust desktop version that you actually do have to pay for. So I put together a handout that you can download that kind of outlines some of the differences between the various citation management tools. I'm not going to go into any real detail here about all of the differences. You can always take a look at this later when choosing which tool you want to use, if you want to use one of these tools. But generally speaking, they all sort of work the same way. They allow you to organize your citations for papers. They all allow you to format bibliographies in APA format. Some of them are fairly quick to learn. I'd say maybe the EndNote desktop takes a little bit longer to learn, but not terribly difficult. Most of them are web-based, but some of them do have desktop sort of versions. And then, of course, the EndNote desktop version is also software that you have to download on your computer. And as I mentioned earlier, most of them are free, except for the EndNote desktop. And then there's like additional features in Mendeley that I think you have to pay for. And most of them work the same way. You can download references from a variety of different places, whether it's a library or if you're searching on the web and so forth. All right, so now that we know generally what citation managers are and what they're used for, and even what some of the differences are between the various tools, you might be wondering, okay, well, now what? How do I collect citations? You'll find that it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. All library databases, Google Scholar as well, provide links that enable you to upload the items that you found to your citation manager with just a few clicks. And if you're doing research outside of library databases or Google Scholar, most citation managers also include a plugin for your web browser that you can use to then collect citations from websites as well. Okay, just so you can see how that looks in action, I'm going to do a short sort of live demonstration of how to collect citations as you research. All right, so I'm here on the library website. And I'm going to pretend that I'm doing research for one of my papers or maybe for my dissertation. I want to collect research for my literature review. So we can either do a search here in our discovery tool at the Chicago Library here, or I can go into one of the databases that you can find under our Discover and then databases A through Z. So I'm going to pretend that I'm going to do some research on, let's say, women in leadership. So this ABI Inform Global is a really great database for sort of management, leadership, business types of sources. So I'm going to go ahead and do a search. I'm going to do peer-reviewed. I'd probably add some additional keywords, but I'm just doing a demonstration, so I'll just go ahead and do a search, come up with some results here. So as I'm doing my research, I'm going to be looking at sort of various articles. And as I look at different articles, I might decide, oh yeah, you know, this is a really great, this looks like a great article. I might use this for my paper, maybe this one as well, and so forth. So I'm just going to kind of click on each of the articles that I find. Now, most databases generally work the same way. So you're just basically adding articles as you find them to kind of a folder, and you'll find these folders usually somewhere on the page, usually the top right-hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and click on that folder now, just to show you the items that I found. And you'll notice that, and again, like it's a little different in each database, but generally it's kind of along the same, sort of works generally the same way. So you click on your save options in the database, and then you'll notice that you have a lot of different options, right? So you can save it, I mean, you could email it to yourself, you can save to your My Research folder, which is a ProQuest sort of folder that you can create, where you can save your articles and save your searches. Here's a place where you can save to your EndNote account. This is also for Zotero or Mendeley. There's also a separate link here for RefWorks, which is what we're going to use today for demonstration purposes. But just note that, you know, it works generally the same way no matter which tool you use. All right, so I'm going to click RefWorks, and now I'm going to click Continue. And we're using the newest RefWorks version. Now, if you're not already logged in, it will ask you to log in or create an account if you haven't created an account yet. Looks like we've saved these 4 documents already, so I'm going to click OK. And there they are. So these are the last 4 articles that I've downloaded. It's usually a good idea to check and make sure that everything looks okay. One of the ways that we can do that actually is to just look at those items really quickly by creating a bibliography. All right, so those are the items, you know, and checking, just make sure that everything looks okay. So every now and then I'll find when I download or upload citations from various sources that there might be some errors. Sometimes I'll find that the authors are in all caps, maybe the title will be in all caps, or there might be some other error. I mean, I'd say like 99% of the time it's correct, but you just want to make sure. All right, so that was pretty straightforward. I'm going to go back here to our slideshow. Just a second. Let's see here. All right, so now that you've kind of gotten an idea of how to upload citations to your citation manager, now what? Well, there are several different things that you can do with the items that you've saved. First of all, as I mentioned, definitely check those citations, make sure they're correct. Next, some people find it really helpful to upload PDFs of the articles or other items that they find to their citation manager. So I'll do another quick demo in just a minute to show you how that works. And then once you've uploaded the documents, if you wish to do that, and you don't have to do that, of course, then you can also annotate and make notes to access later. And I want to sort of take a minute to also kind of talk about that. I think that making notes or annotating articles also really helps you to kind of critically analyze the research that you've saved and helps you think about how it fits into your research topic and so forth. So I'll do another also demo of how that works as well, because I find that that's a really helpful feature of some of these citation tools. finally, you can create bibliographies in APA format, which I actually just showed you for any items that you found. But even better, you can cite the items that you've collected in your citation manager while you write, automatically creating that bibliography all properly formatted. So basically all the tools have this capability, though it's usually kind of an add-on or a plugin that you have to download. So we'll do a little demonstration on how that works in just a minute. So let's go into the RefWorks again, and I'll show you how that looks. So I'm going to go back to sort of the main page here. And again, like even though I'm using RefWorks as the demo for today, basically all of the other tools work very similarly. So the Outlook, I mean, the page might look different, the tools look a little different, but most of them have this capability. All right, so organizing your research, you can organize your references into different folders. So we just did a search on women and leadership. So I may want to either add it to a new folder by clicking here on add folder, or let me go ahead and just put these in my women in leadership folder. Let's see here. Oh, I just need to go back to see here. Here we go, assign to folder, apply. All right, so now those are in my women in leadership folder. All right. So the other thing that you can do is, you know, annotate documents and make notes on these items. So, you know, back when we were in the library databases, you'll notice that, you know, if you click the full text of any of these items, you know, you can save them. And then within RefWorks, if you click on, you know, an item, let's see here, which one did I click on? It was gender bias. So this one right here. So you'll notice that you can click edit right here at the sort of right-hand corner. And you'll notice that it includes the abstract, which you can actually change if you'd like. You can create your own abstract if you want, maybe a quick summary. You'll notice that there are different tags for the article. You can add your own tags if you want, or you can remove tags. So it's really customizable. And these are used to like search through your database. So if you're writing your paper and you're looking for, oh, what was that article on gender differences? You can use that as a tag, and then it will pull up all of the articles that you have saved under that tag. And then if you scroll through, let's see here. You can add an attachment. So this is where you can actually add a PDF of your article. All right. So I've already saved one over here. Let's see here. I did another search on corporate responsibility and employee engagement. So I'm going to open that really quick. And I've already downloaded the PDF. And so you can actually view that within your RefWorks account. And the nice thing about this is you can click here and look at your document notes. So I just put a quick note in here. I just put, it's the relationship between CSR and engagement. You can put whatever notes you want. You can put a summary in here. You can annotate. However you want to use it. You can also highlight text within the document, and you can also make comments. So I made a highlight and a comment here, but I can sort of make another highlight here, and then make a note. Oops, add comment. You can even color code these. So it's really robust as far as the features that are included here. All right. Oh, hold on. All right. All right. So now that we've looked at how to organize citations into different folders, how to upload PDF files of articles and other items, and we briefly looked at how to annotate or make notes, as well as how to create bibliographies in APA format, which we did at the very beginning. But really, one of the most powerful advantages of using a citation manager is the ability to insert citations you've collected as you write, while automatically generating a bibliography in APA format. So we're going to do a quick demonstration of how that looks in action. So I'm going to go back to, let's see here. I'm going to open up a Google Docs document. Now, a lot of these citation managers work within Word. Word for Windows, Word for Mac. Usually they are plugins that you have to download in RefWorks. You'll usually find it underneath your account, and then you'll find it under Tools. So here's the tool to save references on the web. So it's, again, something that you download to your browser. And then here's where you can cite references in your word processor. So for RefWorks, it's called Write and Cite. And it's something that you just download and install. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about how to download and install plugins for your word processor, but most of these citation management tools will have a help file that includes some great tutorials and some step-by-step guides on how to install the sort of write as you cite features. In RefWorks, you'll notice that the help file is right here under this question mark, and there's some great, as I said, video tutorials and guides on how to use it. Okay, so you couldn't actually use this within Word, but I chose to use Google Docs for today. And again, this is just to kind of show you how it works in general. So in Google Docs, there's you can actually download an add-on, including one for RefWorks, which I already downloaded. So once you've downloaded it, all you have to do is click on Add-ons, RefWorks, Manage Citations, and that opens up all of my references, which I can search. So I can search by keyword, author, and so on. And then I can start sort of using it while I write. All right, so I'm starting my paper and I'm ready to cite an author. So I'm thinking, okay, according to, let's see, who do I want to cite here? Doesn't matter here. I'm going to use this one, Dodd. So it says Women Leaders, and I'm going to click on Edit and Cite. And what that will do is it will open up a window here where it will show me what it will look like as an in-text citation. Now I've already typed the author's name according to Dodd, so I actually want to suppress the author, so it just shows the year. But you can also suppress the year, add page numbers if you're doing like a direct quote, for example, and then I can click Insert. And you'll notice too that it has APA 6th, but I can actually later change that to APA 7th once you're ready to start using 7th edition. All right, so I'm going to click Insert. And you'll notice that it just added that reference at the end at your bibliography, and now I can continue writing. So everyone see how that works? Really nice, right? Keeps everything really organized. I can always go back, make changes. But you'll notice that as you add citations to your paper, it will automatically add those references at the end. And what's really nice too is it'll add those references in alphabetical order in APA format. Yay. It's a really nice tool. And even though I'm using, as I said, Google Docs, it's very similar in Word. So again, you'll have like a window open where you can access all of your citations. You'll be able to click Cite or Edit in Cite, and then continue. All right. So you may be asking yourself now, since you've seen what citation managers can do, maybe you're thinking about trying it for yourself. And I'd highly encourage you to do that. I mean, even if you end up not using these tools, I think it's worth kind of taking a look at them to see if it's something that you'd like to use. So here are some of the steps that I thought I'd recommend as you decide on whether to use a citation tool, or citation management tool, I should say. So first, I'd review the comparison chart that I uploaded and also included in the presentation, and kind of look at it like, is there a tool that you think will work best for your needs? Some people really love EndNote and are willing to pay for it. Some people are fine with using RoughWorks or Zotero or Mendeley. I mean, it's really like, you can try some different tools and see what you like. Then once you've kind of decided to try one particular tool, go ahead and create an account. They're usually very easy it just takes a few steps to create an account, and then download the word processor plugin that comes with that account. I just showed you how to do that in RoughWorks, but it's fairly similar in some of these other tools as well. And then I would literally start practicing saving citations wherever you find them, from the library, from Google Scholar. And later, if you want me to show you how to do that from Google Scholar, I can do that. And then I would open up a document, whether you're using Word, Google Docs, or some other tool, OpenOffice, for example, and then practice maybe using citations while you write. All right. All right, so I know that was a really quick overview of the different tools, but you can always reach out to us if you have any questions. And at this point, I thought I'd ask you if you have any questions about any of the sort of things that we covered today.
Hi, Faye. This is Heidi. Thank you so much for going through all of that. I certainly learned a lot while listening to this presentation. And I haven't seen any questions come through the question box, but I'm anticipating, particularly folks who are watching this after the fact, that there might be some question regarding the transition to 7th edition APA, okay, and if RoughWorks will automatically make those updates, or if students are going to have to go in and manually adjust.
That's a really good question. And actually, most of these tools make it really easy to switch between different citation formats. So you'll notice that when you go into the citation management tools, and maybe I can show you really quickly what that looks like in RoughWorks. But as I said, it's very similar in some of the other here, where if you create a bibliography within RoughWorks itself, let's say I wanted to do that from these last 4 items here, you'll notice that it will ask you which citation sort of tool you want to, or format you want to use. So I mean, I could even switch to AMA or Chicago edition. Oh, sure. Yeah, so
it already has 7th in there. That's great.
So if you start out with 6th edition and then you later wanted to go back and redo it in 7th, it's just a matter of just redoing the references from this right here. If you're doing it from your document, it's very similar. You'll notice also that, let's see here, when you click on Edit and Cite, I'm going to go in here. So right now I'm using APA 6th edition, but you can click here and change it. So I can search here. Now I'm not sure, I actually have to upload my add-in, or I'm sorry, I have to, I think, upload a new version in here so I can see the APA 7th edition. I don't see it right now. I don't know if they added it yet. But once it's added, as I said, it's just a matter of changing it to the different citation style and then click update. Yeah.
Great, thanks. So we have a related question from Stephen. Stephen asks, how simple is it to implement a citation management tool into a previously created document?
That's a good question. So there's probably going to be a few more steps with that, because I think one of the most, or the citation management tools I think are most useful as you do your research. So, I mean, if you've already done your research and already started writing your document, it started kind of using or citing different sources, I mean, you could probably do a couple different things. You could, I mean, if you've already collected citations somewhere, most citation management tools allow you to export, or I should say import, those citations from wherever you have them stored. If you have them stored, let's say in your ProQuest My Research account, or maybe you're using a different citation management tool, if you don't have them saved anywhere in any kind of format other than just, like, let's say a bibliography in Word, you probably would have to kind of start creating that database by sort of finding those citations, let's say in Google or in the library databases, and then adding them to your citation management tool that way. And then once you've sort of collected those citations, then you can sort of proceed with adding those citations in your document. Even if you've already started it, you can kind of insert those citations in previously sort of cited or previous in-text citations. You would just probably hide, not hide, hard to describe exactly how to do it. But if you have a question about that and you're not sure, definitely email us and we can sort of walk you through that process. But yeah, it would definitely be a few extra steps if you've already done your research or started your document.
And Faye, maybe you can quickly, for those who might need to follow up, do you want to bring us over to the library website and show everyone how to make an appointment or reach out to you?
Absolutely. Let's see here. So I'm going to go to the library website here, and then you'll find us under Find Help. And then you can either email us or you can schedule an appointment with the librarian. So you'll notice that all of us have our calendars available, and you can contact any one of us. All of us, have some expertise on using the different citation management tools. If you want to schedule an appointment, you just click on our calendar here. Choose, either 25 minutes or an hour, and then choose a time that you want to meet. Put your name and email address. Make sure that you click Meet Virtually if you're not here at the campus, because I use GoToMeeting, and we can then meet online.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, and we welcome questions like this. Don't hesitate to reach out, especially if you feel like you're struggling, or you're like, oh, I really just don't know how to do this. Like, no worries, we can help you with that.
Great, thank you. Well, I don't see any additional questions coming in, but I will wait maybe another minute or so. So if you are on the line and have any lingering questions, please feel free to type those in. If not, thank you for joining this evening, and again, definitely reach out if you have any questions.
All right, thanks.
All right, it looks like our attendees have left, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the session. Thank you again, Faye, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.